Hello, this is Andrew Slur recording for his Project 5 video assignment. I'm gonna go, like before how I usually do it, slowly explaining my little code examples and showing you how I've written them and so on and so forth. I am kind of in a rush because I gotta go to work today and this is really the only time I can make this video. So I'll start with the link and my little coding example and show how that works, how I've written the program. This is my little link example. Link is it's just an easy way to filter and sort through collections like lists, make using mainly simple readable codes instead of things like loops. It makes data handling in Unity slightly faster to write and easier to understand. Nothing overbearing, nothing looping. It just simple code of public string name, and then we got name equals n damage, so on and so forth. It's nothing overbearing or over bloated with unnecessary code, but it's just really easy to make it filter through our code and make it easier to manage the overall work. What's next is bit masking. Bit masking is pretty neat. It's mainly used, well, not mainly used, but it's commonly used for like abilities and things. So from when I started at least learning about it, from what I thought, we kind of change integers into like binary, 0, 0, 1 on off things. So now this integer is turned into 0, 0, 0, 1, and this integer for run is turned to 0, 0, 1, 0, and ability 0. With these kind of like binary segment things, little code that we use as bit masking, we can then change how abilities work. So now we can have abilities jump, and we can turn it on using this little bit of code. I forget the name of that little line, but we do the little line forward equal, and that turns on jump. It just sets it to a positive, setting the bit to 1, and leaves the other bit unchanged. Wow, our can jump. It checks if it can jump. It checks if the bit is set here. So it checks if it is turned into a 1. See, it just checks if it's turned on, and if it is, it just continues. Here we turn off the jump afterward with the and. It turns it off by flipping the bits and keeping everything except the bit, so it overall just turns it off with the little and symbol. I need to find the actual name for these symbols, so I'm just going off memory, but usually that's like and equals. And with the little last symbol, here with the little up arrow and equal sign, it's a toggle for run. So as long as you press it, it keeps going back and forth. So 1 becomes 0 and 0 becomes 1. And then we got a little debug log to show the ability. But overall, bit masking is used for things like for like abilities or states and flags. So like if a character unlocks I don't know, the wall climbing ability, something in the code using bit masking will switch a little on symbol. Basically, this would like, let's say our character unlocked the ability to jump, they get the power up, do the whole animation or not. In the background, abilities turned off, but the moment they do the animation thing and they unlock and go through the whole cutscene, this switches to on, and now our character is allowed to jump. What's next after bit masking is our operator overload. Operator, yeah, I had to put its own file, which is the enemy. That's where I put it. So enemy So operator overload lets you define how objects are compared using operators like the equals or the less than or equal to or greater than symbols, these little things. So you use symbols like compared to or I comparable. And it compares, at least in this example, it compares the enemy's damage from one to another. So we compare enemy damage from enemy A to enemy B, and enemy A's damage is greater than B. But then here it's less than B. It allows us to overall it provides a standard way to compare and sort objects, usually through the compare to method. And it's mainly just a way on checking to see which one's more. So we overload it if it's less than or greater to. Yeah, that's right. There's some other scripts. But yeah, we just it allows to compare cinnamon. I can speak similar. I guess here, for example, our little enemy from enemy A and enemy B, and see which ones, at least in this example, do more damage. Okay, so next would be the dirty flag. A very, very dirty flag. It's got like dirt on it. So dirty flags, a dirty flag is mainly a boolean. Checks if a code is dirty. And it tracks if the data has changed to ensure you only recalculate values when necessary, improving performance by avoiding repeated work. So you just check to see if any value has changed, and if it is, it will go as false and say it's dirty or updated and marks it clean. So overall, the dirty flag check, it just for performance reasons. There could be more. There's probably more ways to use a dirty flag method, but it just makes sure that code isn't repeated unnecessarily, overall improving performance. Nice, simple, easy. I will show the coding work after once we get here. I'll just run the script with all the little debug logs. It'll show it running properly. Next would be running total list. Running total. Overall running total list. Running total list. It just updates value or collections as changes happens instead of recalculating everything. It just mainly similar like the dirty flag. It improves overall efficiency and it's useful for tracking things like scores or inventory or damage. It's just a more simpler way to code instead of like 100 lines of code of damage checking, going through all that. You just got this. So that's it. I'll just run a little script to show a little debug to show that it is working properly. I'm not hiding the code. But here you can see the abilities from the ability thing. Oh, no, wrong thing. Oh, I'm smart. I know my computer. From the bit masking, you can see the enemies and the scores from the run total. You can see updated abilities from the bit masking, the dirty flag check, and the link example. Overall, I guess that's it. I apologize for being late. Again, I should have Project 6 done tomorrow, since I don't work tomorrow, thankfully. Um, I guess that's really it. If anything's wrong, please tell me as soon as possible and I'll redo the video. I know I was kind of speeding on through because I don't really have much time right now. But thank you. Sorry for the wait. I will get everything done on time. I'm not sure if you heard the air quotes, but that's all. Bye bye.